Hello, it's me, and we're off somewhere in some strange ocean on some bizarre ship, and I'm going to take this opportunity to go through, as promised, a little tutorial slash walkthrough on this. This is the Pocket 2x2x2 or 2x2x2 Pocket Cube by Justin. There's two variations of this. There's the two-colored version, and there's the 1, 2, 3, 4-colored version with this. So at what point is a strategy really just a collection of algorithms? At what point is the solve a little more than just an instruction manual rather than an actual solve? Well, to anybody who actually has this puzzle knows that this actually isn't a 2x2 by any reckoning. It's actually, although it looks like an overall 2x2 with a little 2x2 segment over here, there's actually a bandaged 3x3. And I don't want to belabor that structure too much because it really doesn't have much meaning. Because the problem with this is that, as you can see, the bandaging with this puzzle is so extreme and so severe that even the scrambling of this is rather difficult. And it renders any and all algorithms that we've used in the past completely useless. So the challenge with this puzzle is, I do have a way of showing you this, basically just going through a series of algorithms to get through any type of situation. But that wouldn't really be a very fun solve. So here's what I'm going to try to do with this. What I'm going to do is I'm only going to introduce 3 algorithms, of which they're all fairly straightforward. You can actually have them memorized. I do have them memorized, and they're variations of algorithms that you already know. Such as you've heard of the Red Bull algorithm. Well, I've got a variation called the Lead Bull, and that's going to help us get through certain things. But in terms of the scrambling of this, if we were to look at this puzzle to start off with, you can see that very quickly I can only do very limited motions before I end up bandaged. I can move this way, I come over here, I can move this way, and then I can start separating things out a little bit. And as I'm separating things out, well, then I start to bandage myself even more, so I become more and more restricted. And it doesn't take much before you find yourself in a fairly good scrambled state. But really, the challenge of this puzzle comes from how to solve this without delving into algorithm after algorithm that is only focused just on one specific puzzle. And to me, that's not really the fun part of solving. So when looking at this puzzle, I'm going to kind of go through the different algorithms so that you sort of have an idea of exactly what I'm doing. Just by way of demonstration, I'm going to start off with this. So let's say we have this in something of a scrambled state. Really didn't do a huge scramble with this. The first step that's going to be with these puzzles is to try to get it back into the shape like this, where you have a square shape with this lined up as one of this 2x2x2 segment as one of the corners here. Now this part is going to be, I'm going to tell you, very intuitive, which means I don't have a specific strategy, I don't have a specific algorithm for that. But what you're going to notice as you're moving this puzzle is you're going to be pretty restricted in how you can turn this. So you're just going to kind of find your way there, but here's some rules of thumb. If you get something that's set up like this, go with it. Then we're going to try to pair up other portions. By pairing them up, I'm going to try to line it up to where I can move into this column over here. So here's what I mean by that. This is kind of orphaned, so I move this over here, it's found a home over here. That orphans this over here, but can I turn this in any specific way? Well, let's see, I'm kind of locked up over here, so I've got a way to turn over here. Now, I can only turn this by one 90-degree turn, so I find, okay, I can go over here, there's no 90-degree turns that I can make, so just go the other way. Now the thing about it is that the bandaging kind of works against us in terms of the complexity of the solve, but there's actually simplicity to it, and the bandaging can work for us because there's only so many configurations this puzzle is going to have in a scrambled state, and only so many configurations it's going to have in a solved state. So eventually, by working with it, it's going to get you into something of a solved state. So without working too hard, I've got this 1x2x2 sheet, and I've got this portion over here ready to sort of move in with it. So now I just go like bang, and I've got this over here. Once you do that, just position things until you get it into one whole 2x2x2 segment that's in. And you're going to have a couple of possibilities. One is you're going to have this, where it's sort of pushed back. When it's pushed back like this, there's an easy way to get it back to a square position, and this introduces the first algorithm. Now this one is pretty intuitive, not too difficult to remember, not too difficult to memorize. But what this is going to be is this is what I'm going to call my side shifting algorithm. I want to shift this back. There's a right-sided version and there's a left-sided version. Sticking with the right-sided version, what that's going to be over here is it's going to be you're going to do the one that's that's freely moving over here. So that would be this guy over here. You can do it to the right, or if you prefer, hold it over here and do it to the left. So you're going to do your 2x2x2 block over here. Showing the right-sided version, that's going to be R, F, R, I, F, I. R, I, D, R, D, I. And then it's pretty apparent what you need to do from here. This has to come up over to here, so just do F. So you see this is over here, and just kind of intuitively take it across. If you need an algorithm still, then you can do D and then F, rather an RI. So you see that put that back. So that was the right-sided version of that. Left-sided version is pretty much the same thing, but just to the left. So that's going to look something like this. Taking back to here, we'll just shift it over here and just demonstrate the left-sided version with that. So that's just the opposite. So that's going to be Li, Fi, L, F, L, Di, Li, D, then doing Fi, and a Di, and an L. And that brings it back over here. So that's one of the basic moves that you're going to need to know in order to bring that back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate another algorithm, which is what I call the L-Bull algorithm. Now it's going to be hard to see exactly what this algorithm does on this particular puzzle, but basically what the L-Bull algorithm does is it takes this and shifts it back again. Now you're probably thinking, why do something as more complex as an L-Bull algorithm? And the reason is because it's doing more than just shifting it. It's actually moving these guys around and reorienting it. So I'm going to show you an algorithmic set. An algorithmic set is doing the L-Bull algorithm followed by my side shifting algorithm. I do one and then I do the other. What that's designed to do is it's designed to reorganize these. And here's what that algorithm is going to look like. So the first part is going to be the L-Bull, which will shift this away again. Then we'll do the side shifting to shift it back on the right side. And actually, come to think of it, I'm going to demonstrate it on this puzzle so that you can see exactly the nature of what this is going to do. So L-Bull algorithm, that's going to be... now, to remember this, it takes a little bit of doing, but it's really not that bad, and I have a little mnemonic that I use to remember it. So L-Bull starts off with L, B-I, U-I, L-I. See? Red Bull. Now, because of the complexity of this puzzle, the next part of the algorithm is we're going to say that we're having a bad day. So do B, D. Then we say we're having a lousy, foul day. So we'll say we'll do a Li, Fi, Di. Then we calm it down a little bit and say we're having a lousy, bad day instead of foul. So that's L, B, Di. And then we recapitulate by saying we're having a really bad day. So that's Ri, Bi, Bi, D. You'll end up in this configuration. But let's take it back. Before we do the Bi, Di, we ended up in this configuration. So as part of the algorithmic set, just stop at the Ri. Don't do the Bi, Di yet, just stop there. And then we're going to be at this portion, we're going to be in this configuration. Turn it over here so that we're right in line to do the right-sided version of our shifting algorithm. So that's going to be R, F, Ri, Fi, Ri, D, R, Di, then do an Fi, and get ourselves back. Okay? You're going to find that did a couple things. So that's my classic algorithmic set. The algorithmic set is to do the lead-bull algorithm, but just stop just short of doing the BID, and then just do the shifting with the right side, the side shift algorithm with the right side. You're going to find that it's shifted things around here a little bit, which is going to become useful to me. You're also going to find that here, notice that this Meffert symbol was here, it jumped down to here. Every time you do that algorithm, it skips to here and to here. So you can coordinate, if you want to, putting the Justin sign and the Meffert sign right at the same. By the way, this was made by Justin a brilliantly conceived puzzle. So in any case, that's that algorithmic set, and I'm going to go through it again just to demonstrate it so that you can follow what I'm doing. The algorithmic sets start off with all but the last two of the lead bowl, and you can sort of study this configuration over here. So that's Li, Bi, Ui, L, lead bowl. Then we do our bad day, so we do B, D. Then we say we're having a lousy bad day, so Li, Fi, Di. Then we do L, B, Di, then Ri, and we stop. We stop, and then we move right to here, turn it 90 degrees clockwise, and do the R version of it, the right-sided version of my corner shifting to shift this back. R, F, Ri, Fi, Ri, D, R, Di, doing F, and just bring this back. Okay, notice it did take this Meffert's and put it over here, and it did do some scrambling with this too. Now, I want you to notice something if you didn't. Every time I did that algorithm, I did not change the configuration of one corner with one edge. Now notice I'm doing a little process of rotating with these edges over here, these centers over here rather, and these edges are off from this corner, but I always have one corner that's in with an edge. And if you notice, if you want to backtrack, you'll notice that the same thing happened last time with this as well. So that's the other algorithm to deal with. Now, the one other algorithm, you've heard of I showed you the lead bowl. I'm going to show you what's called the lead bubble. Now here's what the lead bubble does. Notice that this configuration stayed the same. I'm going to do it again, and you're going to see that, well, I'll probably end up solving it, but I'm always going to have one of these in association with one of these. And as long as I do that lead bowl set with these two that are associated with each other on the top side here, then it'll be okay. So I'll go ahead and do it again, and you can see what happens. Turn, 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 turn. Bang, zoom, splat. Pow, clink, clink, clunk, clink, and clunk. So I have this over here, R, F, Ri, Fi, Ri, E, R, Di, move it in, and clunk. Okay, so it got us back to the beginning over there. So basically that's the basic scenario. Now you may find yourself in a situation where you have this corner here that's not in association with any of these edges. When that happens, then you can do what's called the L bubble algorithm. Now notice when I did the L bowl set, I found myself in a situation where I always had one in association with an edge. If you don't, there's an algorithm that'll lift this away from the particular configuration where it's not involved with any of these. So when I do the L bubble algorithm, it'll be lifted away from being coordinated with any of these edges. And so here's how the L bubble algorithm goes. You start off the same way, L, Bi, Ui. Instead of an Li, instead of an L, you once again just do a B. Then do a 2L, then a D, and a 2F, and a DI. Then you're going to do a L, D, Li, Fi. Okay? What that's going to do is that's going to bring you into this configuration here. I need to do a pushback, a side pushback algorithm, but this is going to be on the left side. So to finish the whole setup with that, it's going to be Li, Fi, L, F, L, Di, Li, D, Fi, and then just we'll pull this back here and here to bring it down. Now notice what this algorithm did is it moved this away, these edges away from any from the corner. It moved all of these edges away from the corner. So if I do the L bubble again, it'll move at least one, if not two or three, back to the same corner. The second I get a corner with any one edge, I can now do the L-bull set in order to get things to the right. So that's almost what you need to know in order to solve this. This is how you move things around. What you're looking for is you're looking for a situation where this is in coordination with at least one of these. Then you keep doing L-bull algorithms until you get it in. But there's a particular configuration that we're looking for. You might not accidentally get it in just by doing enough of the L-bull sets. What you're actually looking for is a situation where you have everything in except two that need to be swapped. When you get that, you do the L-bull algorithm twice. Not the L-bull set, where you stop just short and not do the last two moves, and then do the side shift set on the right side. You do the entire L-bull set twice. So let's say I have this over here, and I realize that I have to do an L-bubble in order to get it back. So I'm going to do an L-bubble just because I don't have any edge synced where it needs to be. So L-I-B-I, U-I-B, 2L, move this over here, 2F, I'm just doing the same algorithm, doing this over here, turn, turn. Now this is not hard for me to remember because I sort of get what's going on here. Then I'm going to do a L-I-F-I, L-F, L-B-I, L-I-B, turn this guy here and move this back in. Okay. So I have it in this configuration, but I don't as of yet have anything that's in. If I don't have anything that's coordinated with this corner, I keep doing the L bubble until I get something. So I'm just going to do it again. Do that same algorithm again. Turn, 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 double turn, turn, double turn. Do this here, 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 and here. Now do that L, L-I-F-I, L-F, L, here, L-I, here, and then we just come across here. In this particular situation, it just got solved. Okay, so with that said, you actually have the basic algorithms that you need. The rest is all strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a scramble of this puzzle and see if we can use these algorithms that we went through to try to solve this beast. Now the scramble of this puzzle is not that easy either. It takes a little bit of doing. So I'm going to pattern the scramble much like I do on my solves. So I'm just going to come around here. Now the thing about the scramble is you're going to find that each move that you make is only associated with one 90-degree move in some other direction. So I could move it here, but I can't move it here. Can't move it here, but I can move it here. Can't go this way, so I'll just go the other way. So that's how I start off with a scramble. And I try to make it as random as possible. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and scramble this as random as possible and take it from there. So, once again, abracadabra. Okay, and while we can never be sure about how complete or how strong a scramble it is, we're going to go through this and see how we can maybe work our way through just based on the strategies. So step one, get it back into the square form. I see these are together, so I'm going to try to create a 1x2x2 sheet. And it can best be done by pairing these up. They're already paired up. So if I can get this closer to being where it needs to be over here, up to here so that I can match this, that would be good. So my movement is pretty limited, so if I find that I can't turn this way, I just turn the other way. Can't do that there either, so I just keep turning around until I find something. But the very limitations of this scramble is what's going to guide me through. So I'm just kind of making turns here, and I'm limited by what's possible, actually. So you can see that there isn't too much. I'm kind of caught in a trap here. Moving this over here, I'm seeing if I can't pair this with any one of these. I can make a 1x2x2 block. So I'm going to move this over here. And if you move it around enough, you're going to find something. So this doesn't match here. So this will come here. And see, so all I can do is turn this part over here. So the question is, when I turn this here, I can't do anything. Here, I can't do anything. Here, I can do something. So with that said, I'm going to see what else I can do. Here, can't do anything. Here, oh, I can do something. I can move this over to here. Now this can greet this one just fine. In other words, I can move this into here to create a 1x3 block. So I'm just going to move this down here until I can move this over to here. So here, or this up to here rather. Okay. I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to take this and pair that with these guys over here. Aha! So like I say, it may have looked like I moved with deliberation, I didn't, but I've got a 1x2x2 sheet just across from this. I just need to move this into here, and I can do that by aligning it and moving it down. Once I have this, and again, just keep working with it. No specific strategy, but once I have that, then it's a matter of just getting it back to the square form if you can. This is again done intuitively. So I'm going to see if I can't get this back to some kind of a square. I'll move this over here. This can move freely here. And in this particular situation, there isn't any one configuration that'll get me to a square form like this. So what I need to do, if I can't get it into a square form, then I sort of have both that are pushed back. And I can try to line two together, but none of them are going to go. So if that's the case, then I'm going to take this portion over here. Remember how I moved this down to here. I'm going to move it out again, move this into a different configuration, move it back. Once you do that, once you move it into a different configuration, then you'll be able to find something, and this is what we've got. Now, I'll tell you, this is the simplest of situations. In this situation, notice I've got a corner with one edge in alignment, which is good. The others are not. What that tells me is I don't do the red bubble, I do the lead bubble, I just do the lead bowl. Now the other configuration that I'm looking for is I'm looking for two that are out. In other words, this just needs to be rotated and this just needs to be rotated. If you have that situation, you are scot-free, because all you have to do is do the lead bowl algorithm twice. Now I don't mean the lead bowl algorithmic set. What that is you do most of the lead bowl algorithm except for the last two moves, and then just do a side shifting algorithm in order to reconfigure. This is the entire lead bowl algorithm twice. So when you get this configuration, do it to where on the front part is you have both corners that have to be flip-flopped. And we're going to go ahead and do the lead bowl algorithm completely twice and it'll be solved. Plus with the added benefit, this, well, we'll see what this is. This might end up over here. So let's go ahead and do that. So it's going to be L, B, I, U, I, L, I. Then we do our bad day, so B, D. Then we do a lousy foul day, so that's L, I, F, I, D, I. Then lousy bad day, so that's going to be L, B, B, D, I. And then finish it up with a really bad day, so that's R, I, B, I, and then D. Okay, once you've done this, instead of holding, once you've done this, you now go right into one more lead bowl algorithm and watch what happens. So I'm just going to do the same thing again, the full algorithm. So it's going to be turn, 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 and turn, 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 and this comes up here. Now we just finish it off like so, and you find that it's solved, done. So that was the easiest of possibilities, where the scramble led right directly to the exact situation that I'm looking for. Once you get into that situation where it's flipped, two lead bowl algorithms will solve the whole thing. Everything else, you have to get to that scenario. If you have all of these edges that are not in alignment, keep doing lead bubble algorithms until you get it to where there's one. If you get it to where there's one, keep doing lead bowls until, keep doing the lead bowl algorithmic set until you get it to where you get that specific configuration. So here's some other possibilities that you might get into. Okay, let's try this one. So we've got this over here, and let's see if we can apply our strategies to see if we can navigate our way through this. So the first thing is try to get back to the square shape. This is the axis of which I can turn. I can turn over here too. I kind of like these being together or these being together. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to try to create a sheet, a 1x2x2 sheet like this, and now I can simply move this into here. So I'm going to move those like so, move this down, and bang, we've got this over here. Okay, now that we have this, let's try to get this back into a square shape. In this case, it's fairly easy to do that. And now let's take a look. What we see is that this corner is not in association with any of these edges. When it happens like that, when it's not in association with any of the edges, we go ahead and do the L bubble, or the lead bubble algorithm. The lead bubble algorithm is going to be done until we can get that back into shape. But first we're going to take a look at this bird flying overhead, just above the ocean, right square with our ship. Soaring very nicely up. Another bird with that too. Every so often you can see one diving into the ocean. Maybe if we're lucky we can actually see that happen. Or maybe not. Anyway, so L bubble simply because we don't have this in association with any of these. So we'll go ahead and do that algorithm. It's going to be L B-I UI, but now we do B, 2L, B, 2F, DI, then move this down to a L, and then move this back over here to a D. Now that we have this configuration here, I simply move this so that I can take this up, an LI, and then move this up to a FI. Okay, I've got this here. I've got this in a pushed back situation, so I'm going to do the left-handed version. So that's going to be LI, FI, L, F, L, DI, LI, D, and then do a FI, and quickly just kind of intuitively get it back. Now, we take another look, and we see that we still don't have any edges that are in. So because of that, I just do another lead bubble algorithm. Just keep doing that until you see one edge that's in. So we go turn, 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 double turn, bang, double turn, zoom, pow, splat, clink, clank. Now do the pushback, the side shift algorithm. LI, FI, L, F, L, DI, LI, D. Move this up, across, and take a look. So now we see what we're looking for, and this is another shape that you're going to get. I see not just one, but two of them are. It doesn't matter, as long as we have one, whether it's all of them or one of them, you're probably not going to get two of them. I think that might be impossible. As soon as I get this, then I'm going to do the lead bull algorithm set, where I do the lead bull algorithm, come just short of two, the last two moves, and then do the pushback. So let's see what happens when we do that. Doesn't matter which perspective I'm using, so we'll go ahead and do that set. So that's going to be L, B-I, U-I, L-I. We do our B, D, then L-I, F-I, D-I, then L, F, D-I, R-I, stop over there, stop with that last one, turn it clockwise 90 degrees and go ahead and do this one. So that's going to be R, F, R-I, F-I, R-I, D, R, D-I, swing this up here, and then bring it back to the square form. Now we take a look, and now we see exactly what we're looking for. This is in, but we see this needs to be flip-flop, this needs to be flip-flop, so we are two lead bull algorithms away from getting exactly where we need. Now you're going to find a lot of different variations. One variation is this corner is going to be rotated and everything else is going to be in. Treat that exactly the way that you do, the way that I've been talking about. Treat that as you have one that you have 3 that are not in. It doesn't matter what it looks like. If you have none that are coordinated with the corner, do lead bubble until you get it back. So if you see this turned by 90 degrees and everything else is all in, just do the lead bubble algorithm until you get at least 1, whether it's 1 or 3. You're eventually going to get it into this configuration. 2 lead bubbles, 2 lead bowls rather, complete lead bowls, will be able to get the whole thing fixed. So let's go ahead and do it. Turn, 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 turn. Then do RI. Now instead of stopping from here, keep going. So that's RI, VI, and DI. So now we finish. And then we do one more. So turn, 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 turn.
I see a cruise ship back there.
Yes, you do. Turn, 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 and magically you will find that it gets solved. Not only is it solved in this case, but we have these 2 up as well. So that pretty much describes it. That describes how to handle this rather challenging puzzle, but remember, you're pretty limited in terms of the scramble, which means you're fairly limited in terms of what you need to do and the different patterns. But if you look for those patterns, apply those algorithms, you should do it. And here's a bird charging into the water.
It dived.
It dived.
Wow,
Maybe we can see another one dive. Been seeing them dive all day.
cruise ship.
Cruise ship. Anyway, if I see another bird dive, I'll let you know. Thanks for watching.